read 10 pages, lift 100 reps, write 100 words, walk 10,000 steps. Those are standards I'm trying to set for the day, and it seems simple enough, and it would be if I could just focus. I'll explore ways to improve focus through these four lenses of reading, writing, weights, and walking. And it'll be through one main step: know what you're going to focus on. So let's dive into how to sharpen these practices to improve focus. Number one, reading. Reading in the back of the car, or anywhere for that matter, was my default state. When I read, hours flew by. I tuned out the world, only dimly aware of my family moving through life around me. My mother asking me to set the table, my sister playing with her friends. I was in my own head with my door closed, or in the back of the car, at a barbecue, at church, anywhere I could steal time to dive between the covers of a book, where I could explore and soak up new facts all on my own without anyone else. That's Bill Gates in his book Source Code. He learned to program pretty young. He'd eventually become obsessed with writing code, but before that, he lost himself in books. Since it was the 1960s, he was reading physical books. It's 10 times harder to focus on a book when reading on your phone. It's the constant battle of the book versus the entire internet. And every page in the book might be a nudge to look up something on the internet, on the same device that your book is on. So I've at least started using my Kindle again, the standalone device. I'm finding it easier to at least make it through these 10 pages per day straight through. Another small thing, having a handy list of 3 books I'm currently reading. Just knowing what I'm supposed to be reading really helps me focus, and I should probably just get it down to 1 or 2, but having that list keeps me from scrolling through my library, or worse, opening up the ebook store. Number 2, writing. List your top 25 goals, then circle the top 5. The other 20 aren't lower priority. They're now distractions. And the idea is true focus means saying no to everything that distracts from your most important goals. The good things can distract from the great things. That is this story that ends up not being true. It's apocryphal, but it's supposed to be like Warren Buffett's pilot asks him how he can focus, and then these are the steps that he tells him. Anyway, I have my writing block, I set a timer, and then I start deciding what I'll write about. Instead, it'd be better to prep the page. You can only focus on something when you know what that something is. So set yourself up to know what you're going to write about before you start. I was listening to this interview with Tintin Smith. This is Ali Abdaal's former channel manager, and he talked about the ranking system that they had for video ideas. They'd brainstorm ideas as a team together, but what that creates is a bunch of unsorted ideas, and that can become a distraction if you don't know which one you're going to work on. So then they would have this ranking system to give them clarity on what they should be working on now, and then what they can work on next. Right now, I kind of always know that I can be outlining and grabbing quotes for future videos, or working on the script for the week. That will be key to a consistent weekly schedule. If I post this one, that will be 3 weeks in a row, so hopefully I can keep that up. And the next section coming up here is number 3, weights, removing distractions in fitness. So here's the highlight. You can quit, but you can't quit until the season is over, the tuition payment is up, or some natural stopping point has arrived. You must, at least for the interval for which you've committed yourself, finish whatever you begin. In other words, you can't quit on a day when your teacher yells at you, or you lose a race, or you have to miss a sleepover because of a recital the next morning. You can't quit on a bad day. That's Angela Duckworth in her book Grit, explaining her hard thing rule that she has for her family, where they pick hard things that they're going to focus on for a period of time, and then they have to stick with it until the next period. So it's just, you can quit, but you have to quit at a certain milestone. So for me, I've finally carved out an hour to work out. The garage is clean, ready to go. Okay. Then I ask myself, what should I do today? Not great. And that happens, maybe less so now, but it still happens. And it's happened a lot more in the past. To avoid the situation, have a plan and finish it before program hopping. Program hopping is another thing. I love buying workout programs, finding them on the internet, and that can create shiny new objects. So I start to think, oh, I don't have as much time for a full 5x5 workout. Let's try dumbbell supersets. Oh, these same movements are getting boring. Let's try some kettlebell flows. Oh, I need to work on the fundamentals first. Swings and get-ups. Oh, I don't know if that's enough volume. Let's get back to the barbell. And then, as you can imagine, taking so many programs for a spin really means I've just been spinning my tires. So I'm going to commit to at least 8 weeks of any program. At that point, I can review and switch, but I need to stop switching every 2 or 3 weeks, take a break, switch to another program, go back to the first program. That's what can happen. So currently I'm doing this Strong List 5x5 Plus program. I think I'm on week 6 or 7. I think it's week 7 now, and have definitely like stuck to it. I've missed a workout here and there, but I've stuck to it at least, and have not switched programs. I've even like bought a few and then looked at them. It's tempting, but I have not switched programs. All right, last one, number 4, walking. So practicing focus in silence. The highlight here, to simply wait and be bored has become a novel experience in modern life. But from the perspective of concentration training, it's incredibly valuable. That's Cal Newport in Deep Work. Sometimes the most important thing to focus on is nothing at all. My nightmare has become walking alone without AirPods. I nodded immediately when I saw Van Neistat's video title, My Addiction, and the thumbnail said podcasts. I didn't stop nodding while I was watching the entire thing. I pop AirPods on when I wake up, I listen before bed, I listen while eating, and of course I listen while walking. Everywhere. I'm just always listening to something, it seems. So some of the things that I'm missing out on by doing this, there's this creative diffuse time. This is the idea of shower thoughts. So if I'm listening to something in the shower, I'm literally missing out on shower thoughts, which can be some of the most creative thoughts that you have because you've given your mind some space to actually like connect the dots. You're taking all this stuff in, creating dots in your head, but you need to, at some point, give it time to connect those dots. And then I'm also missing out on time to process emotions, thoughts, that sort of thing. So walking can be good for processing things after you receive bad feedback on work, get a mean comment or something like that. But it's less effective if you're just pushing those thoughts aside and slamming sports debate into your brain. I haven't gone purely silent when walking my actual dog, but I've at least mostly stopped wearing AirPods in the shower. This was also motivated by a pair breaking. The microphone broke. I could still listen, but I realized like, oh, the microphone's pretty broken. It's probably because of water damage. And I'm also doing more writing sessions without audio. Just the sweet, sweet sound of the treadmill. Thanks for checking this out.